The beeping of the heart monitor is like a sledgehammer pounding in my skull, slow and relentless, each sound drilling into my already foggy brain. I can barely open my eyes. They feel glued shut with something thick and heavy, like molasses, and even breathing feels like a chore. My lungs squeezing for air as if they're wrapped in wet cotton. The room smells like antiseptic and fear, sharp enough to make my nose twitch, and the cold of the hospital sheets seeps through my thin gown, making me shiver even though my skin feels hot to the touch. I try to move my fingers, just a tiny twitch, but they're leaden, unresponsive, as if someone's them with concrete. Her heart rate still too high. A deep, icy voice cuts through the haze, and my blood runs cold. I'd know that voice anywhere. Jack, my husband. The man who used to bring me coffee in bed every Sunday morning, who'd laugh so hard at my bad jokes that he'd snort. Who once held me through a thunderstorm and whispered I was his safe place. Now his tone is hard, unforgiving, no trace of the warmth that used to make my chest feel light. I want to scream, to ask him what he's doing, but my mouth won't move, my tongue's stuck to the roof of my dry mouth. Dr. Brian Carter, the tall, grey-haired doctor who's been overseeing my treatment for the past week, clears his throat nervously. Mr. Harlow, we've already increased the dosage twice. If we go any higher, we're risking. I don't care about the risks, Jack snaps, and I can picture him now, jaw clenched, those blue eyes that used to look at me like I hung the moon now sharp as shards of glass. He's probably standing by the foot of the bed, hands in the pockets of his expensive tailored suit, like he's at a business meeting instead of watching his wife waste away in a hospital bed. I told you I need her alive for another 72 hours, not a second less. So you keep upping the meds until that heart rate drops to where I want it. Got it. My mind races, even as the drugs pull me back into darkness. 72 hours. For what? I was fine a week ago. We'd been at a charity gala, Jack laughing as he spun me around the dance floor, whispering that he had a big surprise coming. Then I'd woken up the next morning with a splitting headache, vomiting until I could barely stand. And Jack had rushed me to this private hospital wing. One where no one asks questions, where the nurses avoid eye contact, where even the air feels like it's keeping a secret. At first, I thought it was some kind of virus, but when Dr. Carter started injecting me with those clear syringes, when Jack started hovering 24/7, barking orders at the staff like I was a project, not a person, I knew something was wrong. Dr. Carter hesitates, and I hear the rustle of his white coat. Mr. Harlow. This medication is experimental, it's not approved for long-term use, and pushing the dosage this far could cause organ failure. Then find another drug, Jack growls. I hear the sound of his fist hitting the side table, and a nurse's gasp. I'm paying you enough. Keep her alive. Keep her heart rate down. Don't make me regret trusting you with this. Trust him with what? Panic claws at my chest, making the monitor beep faster. Jack notices. Of course he does. And I feel his hand on my forehead. Cold and clammy, nothing like the warm, gentle touches he used to give. Shish, Mia, he says, his voice dropping to a mock-soft tone that makes my skin crawl. It'll be over soon. Just hold on a little longer. For me, for him, not for me, not for the life we built together. The house with the white picket fence. The plans for kids, the trips we dreamed of taking. None of that matters to him right now. All that matters is keeping me alive for 72 hours, whatever the cost. Whatever it does to my body, my mind, my chances of ever being the same again. Dr. Carter sighs, a sound of defeat. I'll prepare the next dose, but Mr. Harlow, I have to document this. If something goes wrong, nothing will go wrong. Jack interrupts, his hand moving from my forehead to my wrist. His grip tight enough to hurt, even through the fog of drugs, because you'll make sure of it, or else what? I want to ask, or else you'll fire him, ruin his career, hurt him. Jack's capable of all of it, I realize with a sickening jolt. The man I loved is gone, replaced by someone cold, ruthless, someone who sees me as nothing more than a means to an end. I feel the nurse's gloved hand on my arm, the pinch of the needle as it slides into my vein. The drug burns as it flows through my body, spreading a numbing cold from my arm to my chest, my legs, my head. The monitor's beeping slows, growing farther apart, and my eyes flutter shut against my will. I try to fight it. To stay awake, to remember what's happening, but the darkness is too strong, pulling me down like a riptide. Before I black out completely, I hear Jack's voice again, quiet but clear, spoken to Dr. Carter. Good, that's better, keep it that way, and then everything goes dark, no more beeping, no more cold, no more fear, just an endless, empty blackness. But even in the dark, I can feel it, the weight of Jack's secret, the danger I'm in, the sense that this isn't just about keeping me alive. It's about something bigger, something terrible, and when those 72 hours are up, I'm not sure if I'll be alive to find out what it is, or if I even want to be. The darkness isn't total. There are flickers of light, memories pushing through the drug-induced fog like sunbeams through storm clouds. I'm not in the hospital anymore, not really. I'm back in that little cafe in downtown Portland, the one with the chipped mugs and the jazz music playing softly in the background. It's our first date. And Jack's sitting across from me, his blue eyes crinkling at the corners as he laughs at something I said. Probably something stupid, like how I'd burned my toast that morning. He's wearing that plaid shirt I loved, the one with the frayed cuffs, and his hair's a little messy, like he'd run his hands through it 100 times before showing up. "Mia," he'd said, leaning forward, his voice warm and soft. "I know this sounds crazy, but I feel like I've known you forever." I'd blushed so hard my cheeks hurt, stirring my coffee even though it was already cold. "Me too," I'd mumbled, and he'd reached across the table, his hand covering mine. His palms were calloused from working on his dad's farm as a kid, but his touch was gentle, like he was afraid he'd break me. That's the Jack I fell in love with. The guy who remembered my order, oat milk latte, extra foam, who'd drive an hour out of his way to pick up my favorite donuts. Who'd stay up all night with me when my grandma was sick, just holding my hand and telling me it would be okay. We got married a year later, in the backyard of that same cafe. They let us rent it out for the day. I wore a white sundress, and Jack cried when he saw me walking down the aisle. "You're the best thing that ever happened to me," he whispered as we danced our first dance, his arms tight around my waist. I believed him. I thought we'd have forever. Weekends hiking in the Cascades, rainy nights curled up on the couch watching old movies, kids running around the house we'd just bought, the one with the big porch and the cherry tree in the front yard. But when did it change? When did the warm, laughing Jack turn into the cold, ruthless man standing over my hospital bed? Maybe it was when his dad's company started struggling, and he took over as CEO. Suddenly, he was working late nights, coming home drunk and angry, snapping at me for things that didn't matter, like leaving the toothpaste cap off or burning the dinner. I tried to be understanding. I tried to remind him of the Jack he used to be, but he'd just push me away, saying, "You don't get it, Mia, this is real life, not some fairy tale." The memories shift, sharp and painful. Last month, we'd had a fight, our worst one yet. He'd come home at 3 in the morning, reeking of whiskey and perfume, and I'd confronted him. "Who is she?" I'd asked, my voice shaking. He'd laughed, a cruel, bitter sound. "Does it matter? You're just convenient, Mia. You always have been convenient." That's what I was, the perfect wife on his arm at galas. The one who kept the house clean, who cooked his meals, who never asked questions. I'd been so blind, so desperate to hold on to the love we'd had that I'd ignored all the red flags. The late nights, the secret phone calls, the way he'd flinch when I touched him. I told myself he was stressed, that things would get better, but they never did. They just got worse. Now I'm back in the hospital room, the memory fading like smoke, and the cold reality hits me again. The beeping of the monitor is slower now, too slow, and my chest feels tight, like someone sitting on it. I can hear Jack talking to someone on the phone, his voice low and urgent. "No, she's holding on," he says, pacing back and forth across the floor. 3 more days, that's all I need, then we can close the deal. A deal, that's what this is about. Money, power, something he's willing to kill me for, slowly but surely. With experimental drugs and lies. I want to scream, to tell him that the deal isn't worth it, that the money won't bring him happiness, that he's losing the only person who ever truly loved him for who he was, not for what he could give her. But I can't. My mouth is still stuck, my body still unresponsive. Trapped in this prison of flesh and drugs, Dr. Carter comes back into the room, and I hear him mutter something to Jack about my vitals being concerning. Jack just brushes him off. Do whatever you have to, he says. I need her alive, that's non-negotiable. I feel tears sliding down my cheeks, hot and salty. Even though I can't move my face to wipe them away, they pool in my ears, sticky and uncomfortable, and I realize how helpless I am. I'm at the mercy of a man who doesn't love me anymore, a man who's willing to let me die as long as he gets what he wants. The drug is wearing off a little, and I can open my eyes just a crack. Jack is standing by the window, his back to me, staring out at the city skyline. He looks different from this angle. Tired, maybe, like he hasn't slept in days. For a second, I see a flash of the old Jack, the one who used to hold me when I was scared, the one who cried at our wedding. But then he turns around, and his eyes are cold again, no trace of emotion. He catches me looking at him, and for a second, our eyes meet. I try to send him a message, pleading, begging, asking why, but he just smirks, a cold, empty smile, and looks away. That's when the hits me, harder than any drug. The man I loved is gone, and is never coming back, and unless someone saves me, I'm going to die here, in this cold, sterile room, for a deal that won't matter once I'm gone. I close my eyes again, the tears still flowing, and I whisper a silent prayer, for help, for strength, for someone to see what's happening and stop it. But the only response is the slow, steady beeping of the heart monitor, counting down the seconds until Jack gets what he wants, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to hold on long enough to stop him. The fog in my head lifts just enough for me to focus on the sound of Dr. Carter's shoes scraping against the linoleum floor. He's standing beside my bed, his face drawn, eyes flicking between the heart monitor and the door like his scared Jack'll burst in any second. I can feel his gloved fingers on my wrist, checking my pulse. Light, careful, nothing like the rough grip Jack had earlier. His touch feels like a lifeline, a tiny spark of hope in this endless darkness. Mia, he whispers. So quiet I almost miss it over the monitor's beep. Can you hear me? I try to nod, but my neck is stiff as a board. Instead, I blink once. Slow, deliberate, a signal. I'm here, I'm listening. Relief floods his face, and he leans in closer, his breath warm against my cheek. Good, listen to me. That last dose Jack made me give you, it's too much. Your kidneys and liver can't handle it. If we keep going like this, you won't make it to those 72 hours, not alive. Anyway, my chest tightens. So he knows, he's not just following orders blindly, he cares. But why hasn't he done something? Called the police? Refused Jack? I can't go against him openly, he says, like he's reading my mind. He's got dirt on me. Embezzled funds from the hospital a few years back to pay for my daughter's cancer treatment. I thought I'd covered it up, but he found out, threatened to ruin me, take my license, make sure I never work in medicine again, and if I don't do what he says, he'll go after my family. Guilt twists in my stomach. It's not his fault. He's trapped too, just like me. I blink again. This time, a question. What now? He glances at the door, then pulls a syringe out of his pocket. Clear liquid inside, different from the stuff he gave me earlier. This is a counteragent. It won't reverse the effects entirely, but it'll slow them down, keep your organs from failing. It'll make the monitor show your heart rates dropping, just enough to keep Jack off our backs. But it won't kill you, not if I keep adjusting the doses. My eyes widen. He's risking everything. His career, his family. For a stranger, for me, I owe you, he says, his voice cracking. A few years back, your grandma was my patient, Alzheimer's. You visited her every day, stayed up with her, read to her even when she didn't recognize you. You showed her more kindness than most people show their own families. I never forgot that. You're a good person. Mia, you don't deserve this, Grandma. The memory hits me like a wave. Sitting by her bed, reading her favorite poetry, brushing her gray hair, telling her stories about Jack and me, she'd always say, Mia, when you find someone who loves you, hold on to them. But if they stop loving you, let go. Don't let them drain your light. I wish I'd listened to her. Dr. Carter slips the needle into my foreline, pushing the plunger slowly. The liquid feels cool as it flows into my veins, a stark contrast to the burning from Jack's drug. Almost immediately, the tightness in my chest eases, and the monitor's beep slows, still steady, but not the sluggish, dangerous pace it was before. It's a lie, a fake reading, but it's a lie that might save my life. Jack'll be back in 10 minutes, Dr. Carter says, pulling the syringe out and tucking it into his coat pocket. He's checking on some business downstairs. I'll log the dose as the higher one he demanded. Just hang in there, I'll keep doing this, adjusting the meds, buying us time. Someone's gotta find you, someone who can help, someone. Lily, my best friend since college, the one who'd warned me about Jack from the start. He's too good to be true, Mia, she'd said at our bachelorette party. All that charm, all that money. There's always a catch. I'd laughed her off, told her she was just jealous. Now I'd give anything to hear her voice, to feel her squeeze my hand, to have her storm into this room and punch Jack square in the face, but Jack's cut me off from the world. No phones, no visitors. He told the staff I had a contagious virus and needed complete isolation. Lily's probably going crazy, wondering why I haven't returned her calls or texts. I hope she's looking for me. I hope she doesn't give up. Dr. Carter smooths the blanket over me, his touch gentle. I'll be back soon. Don't let him see you're awake. Play dead. Play sick. Whatever it takes. We've got 3 days to figure this out. 3 days. 3 days until Jack's deal is done, and I'm no longer useful to him. 3 days until he probably kills me for real. But with Dr. Carter's help, maybe I can survive long enough for Lily to find me. Maybe we can stop Jack before it's too late. The door creaks open, and Dr. Carter steps back, straightening his coat, his face neutral. Jack walks in. His suit jacket slung over his arm, a scowl on his face. How's she doing? He asks, nodding at the monitor. Heart rate's down to 58. Mr. Harlow, Dr. Carter says, his voice steady. Right where you wanted it. The last dose worked. Jack smirks, stepping over to the bed and looking down at me. His eyes are cold, empty. No trace of the man who used to love me. Good, he says, keep it that way. I'll be back in a few hours. If her numbers spike, you know what to do. He turns and leaves. The door clicking shut behind him. Dr. Carter lets out a shaky breath, running a hand through his grey hair. He's buying it, he says, quiet enough for only me to hear. For now, I blink at him, sending a silent thank you. He nods, then turns to leave, pausing at the door. I'll be back with your next dose. Your real next dose. Later. Just hold on, Mia, please. He's gone, and I'm alone again, left with the beeping monitor and my thoughts, but this time, I'm not just waiting to die. I'm waiting to fight, with Dr. Carter on my side, and Lily out there looking for me. Maybe I've got a chance. Maybe I can survive this. Maybe I can get my life back. But first, I have to make it through the next 3 days, and with Jack watching every move, every beep, every breath, I know it's not going to be easy. Not by a long shot. The sound of Jack's footsteps fades down the hallway, but the tension in the room doesn't lift. Not even a little. It hangs in the air like thick smoke, choking me, making the already stuffy hospital air feel heavier. I lie there, eyes still half closed, pretending to be deeper in the drug-induced sleep than I am. My ears are pricked, listening for any sign of movement, any hint that Jack sent someone to watch me, because I know him. He doesn't trust anyone. Not even the people he's paying to do his dirty work. Sure enough, 5 minutes later, the door creaks open again. Not Jack. Too light of a step. A woman, probably in her mid-30s. With short black hair and a tailored black suit that looks more like something a bodyguard would wear than a nurse's uniform. She's got an earpiece in her right ear, and her eyes scan the room like a hawk, sharp and unblinking. I recognize her. Clara, Jack's personal assistant, the one who used to bring me flowers on our anniversary. Who'd smile and say, Mr. Harlow cares about you so much. Mrs. Harlow. Now her smile is gone, replaced by a cold, professional stare that makes my skin crawl. Dr. Carter said her vitals are stable, she says, her voice flat, as she stands by the door, arms crossed. I'll be here until Mr. Harlow returns. Make sure nothing changes. Dr. Carter, who's been adjusting the 4 bag, turns around, his face calm but his hands just barely shaking. That won't be necessary, Ms. Bennett, I'm monitoring her closely. You don't need to stay, Mr. Harlow's orders. Clara cuts him off. He wants eyes on her at all times. After the discrepancy in her heart rate earlier, he's not taking any chances. Discrepancy. So Jack noticed. Of course he did. He's got a sixth sense for things that don't go his way, like a shark smelling blood in the water. My heart races, and I have to force my breathing to stay slow, steady. Anything to keep the monitor from giving me away. Dr. Carter's plan is already at risk, and Clara's only been here 2 minutes. Dr. Carter nods, but I can see the frustration in his eyes. Very well. But I'll need to check her every hour. You'll have to step out for a minute each time. Privacy protocols, you know. Clara smirks, a cold, humorless thing. Privacy protocols don't apply here. Mr. Harlow's made that clear. I'll stay right here. You can do your checks in front of me. Panic twists in my stomach. If she's watching every time Dr. Carter administers the counteragent, she'll see the syringe, see the different liquid, see that he's not following Jack's orders. And then it's over. For both of us. Dr. Carter will lose his license. His family will be in danger, and I'll be stuck with Jack's deadly drugs. No one to save me. Dr. Carter's jaw tightens, but he doesn't argue. Fine, but I need to get some supplies from the nurse's station. I'll be right back. He leaves. And Clara takes a step closer to the bed, her eyes boring into me like she can see right through my fake sleep. I feel her gaze on my face, my hands, my chest, like she's checking to see if I'm faking it. I keep my eyes shut, my body limp, but every muscle is tense, ready to react if she tries to touch me, to test me. Nice act, Mia, she says quietly, so low only I can hear, but I know you're awake, or at least, half awake, Mr. Harlow's told me all about the drugs, how they keep you lucid enough to feel everything, but too weak to move. Must be hell, trapped in your own body, listening to your husband plan your slow death. My blood runs cold. She knows, she's in on it, all this time. I thought she was just a loyal assistant, following orders, but she's part of the deal, part of Jack's sick game. I want to scream at her, to ask her how she can live with herself. But I can't give her the satisfaction of knowing she's getting to me. Clara leans in closer, her breath hot against my ear. You should have just done what you were told, Mia, been the good little wife, kept your mouth shut, not asked questions about the money, about the women, about the deals. But you had to be curious, you had to push him. Now look where it got you. Money, women, deals. The words echo in my head, so there's more to it than just the 72-hour deal. Jack's been hiding things from me for years. Embezzlement, affairs, something worse. I want to ask, to demand answers, but I'm stuck, helpless. She straightens up, stepping back, and when she speaks again, her voice is loud enough for anyone passing by to hear. You know, Dr. Carter's a good man, too good for this. He's risking everything for you. For what? A woman who couldn't even keep her husband happy. It's sad, really. Before I can process her words, Dr. Carter comes back, carrying a tray with bandages, alcohol swabs, and a few syringes, including the one with the counteragent, hidden under a pile of gauze. He sets the tray down on the side table, and Clara's eyes lock onto the syringes, her gaze sharp. Time for your check, Dr. Carter says, his voice steady. But I can see the sweat on his forehead. He picks up my wrist, checking my pulse, then looks at the monitor. Heart rate 56, blood pressure 90/60ths, stable, but still on the low side. I'll need to adjust the drip. He reaches for the 4-bag, and Clara steps closer, watching his every move. I hold my breath, waiting for her to notice the difference in the liquid, the way he's not using the vial of Jack's drug. But she doesn't. She's too focused on his hands, on the 4-line. Not on the syringe he's palming behind his back. In one quick, smooth motion, Dr. Carter injects the counteragent into the 4-line, then tucks the syringe back under the gauze before Clara can see. He adjusts the drip rate, his face calm, like nothing out of the ordinary just happened. There, that should keep her stable for another hour. Clara nods, but her eyes are still suspicious. Good, Mr. Harlow will be pleased. Dr. Carter the tray. I'll be back in an hour. Try not to disturb her too much. She needs rest. Even with the drugs, he leaves, and Clara takes up her position by the door again, her earpiece crackling every few minutes as she communicates with someone. Probably Jack. I lie there, my mind racing. Clara's onto me, onto Dr. Carter. We can't keep this up for 3 days. She'll find a way to expose us, to make sure Jack's plan goes through. And then there's the other thing. Clara's words about the money, the women, the deals. What else is Jack hiding? What's the real reason he needs me alive for 72 hours? Is it a business deal, a divorce settlement, something more dangerous? I try to focus on the positive. Dr. Carter is on my side. Lily is probably out there looking for me, and I'm still alive, still fighting. But with Clara watching every move, with Jack's greed and cruelty driving him, it feels like the odds are stacked against me. The monitor beeps softly, a steady reminder of how fragile my life is right now. One wrong move, one slip up, and it's over. I close my eyes, trying to conserve my strength. To stay lucid, I need to be ready, for whatever Jack throws at me, for whatever Clara does. For the moment when Lily finally finds me, but as the minutes tick by, and Clara's cold gaze never leaves me, I can't help but wonder, will that moment ever come? Or am I doomed to die here, trapped in this hospital bed, at the hands of the man I once loved? My thumb hovers over Mia's contact info for the 100th time, the screen of my phone burning into my palm like it's trying to scorch some sense into me. It's been 4 days, 4 goddamn days since she sent that 2 a.m. text that said, "Lils, something's off with Jack, I'm scared." I'd replied immediately, asking what the hell was going on, begging her to call me. But she never did. No texts, no calls, not even a stupid meme to let me know she's alive. And Jack, every time I've tried to reach him, it goes straight to voicemail. The last time I left a message, I may have yelled a little, okay, a lot, about how if he'd hurt her, I'd rip his balls off and feed them to his stupid purebred dog. But still, nothing. I'm sitting in my car outside the Harlow's stupid fancy mansion in Westlake. The one with the electric gate and the no trespassing sign that looks like it cost more than my rent. The lawn's perfectly manicured, the windows spotless. And there's a brand new Tesla in the driveway that Mia definitely didn't mention buying. Everything looks normal, too normal, like nothing's wrong, like my best friend didn't disappear into thin air after texting me she was scared. But I know Mia. She doesn't ghost me. Not even when we were fighting over that guy in college who turned out to be a total douchebag. She always answers. I grab my purse and slam the car door, marching up to the gate like I own the place. The intercom's mounted on a marble pillar, and I press the button so hard my finger hurts. "Hello. This is Lily Torres. I'm here to see Mia. Let me in." Silence. I press it again, louder this time. "Jack, I know you're in there. Let me talk to Mia, now." A static crackle, then Jack's voice. Cold, distant, nothing like the guy who used to laugh at my bad jokes at their barbecues. "Lily, what are you doing here? Where's Mia?" I snap. Why isn't she answering her phone? Why haven't you called me back? I'm worried sick about her. "She's fine," he says. And I can hear the lie in his voice, thick and slimy. "She's just under the weather, got a bad virus. Doctor said she needs complete rest. No visitors, no phones, she's sleeping right now. A virus." Bullshit. Mia's the healthiest person I know. She drinks green smoothies for breakfast, works out 5 times a week, and hasn't had a cold in 3 years. And even if she was sick, she'd text me. She'd beg me to bring her that terrible chicken soup from the diner down the street. The one with extra noodles that she loves so much. Bullshit. "Jack," I say, my voice shaking with anger. "Let me see her, just for 5 minutes. I need to know she's okay." "I can't do that, Lily," he says. And there's an edge to his voice now, like he's getting tired of my questions. "The doctor's orders, she's contagious, and I don't want you getting sick too. I'll have her call you when she's feeling better. Now please, leave, you're disturbing her." The intercom cuts out, and the gate stays closed. I stand there for a minute, staring at the mansion, my hands balled into fists. Something's wrong. So wrong. Jack's lying. About the virus, about Mia sleeping, about everything. And I'm not leaving until I find out what. I march back to my car, my mind racing. If Mia's not at home, where is she? Jack said she's sick. Maybe he took her to a hospital, but which one? Portland has a dozen hospitals, plus a bunch of private clinics. I pull out my phone and start scrolling through my contacts, looking for anyone who might know something. Mia's cousin Sarah, she's a nurse at Providence. I call her, and she picks up on the second ring. Lily, what's up? Have you seen Mia lately? I ask, my voice urgent. Jack says she's got a virus. But he won't let me see her. I'm worried. She's not answering her phone, and he's acting super sketchy. Sarah pauses. Wait, Mia's sick. I haven't heard anything about that. She wasn't at the family dinner last weekend, but Jack said she had a work thing. I haven't seen her at the hospital, either. But, wait, Jack called me a few days ago, asking about private hospital wings, said he wanted somewhere quiet for Mia to recover, no questions asked. I told him about Cedarbrook. They've got that VIP floor where they don't keep records on file, but I didn't think anything of it at the time. He was all concerned husband mode. Cedarbrook, of course. The fancy private hospital that caters to rich people who don't want anyone knowing their business, that's where he's got her. Thanks, Sarah, I say, relief flooding me even as anger builds. You're a lifesaver. I owe you. I hang up and start the car, peeling out of the driveway so fast I almost hit a bush. Cedarbrook is on the other side of town, in the hills overlooking the city. It's the kind of place where you need an appointment just to breathe the air, but I don't care. I'm getting in there. I'm finding Mia. 40 minutes later, I'm standing in front of Cedarbrook's glass doors, wearing the nicest outfit I own, a blazer I stole from my sister, a dress that's way too tight, and heels that are killing my feet. I'd stopped at a gas station on the way to fix my makeup, trying to look like I belong here, like I'm not just some worried best friend breaking and entering. The receptionist is sitting behind a marble desk, typing on a computer. And she looks up as I walk in, her eyebrows raised. Can I help you? She asks, her voice polite but icy. I'm here to see Mia Harlow, I say, forcing a smile. She's in the VIP wing. Her husband, Jack, said I could stop by. The receptionist types something into her computer, then shakes her head. I'm sorry. But there's no patient here by that name. My smile falters. What? That can't be. Jack Harlow. He's her husband. He said he checked her in a few days ago. Private room, no records. That's what he wanted. The receptionist's eyes narrow, and she leans forward. I can't disclose any patient information. Even if there was someone here by that name, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Are you kidding me? I say, my voice getting louder. My best friend is missing. Her husband is lying to me. And I think she's here, hurt, and you won't help me. What if it was your friend? Your sister? Would you just let her suffer? A security guard walks over, his hand on his belt, and the receptionist nods at him. Sir, this woman is causing a disturbance. The guard steps in front of me, blocking my path. Please exit the building, otherwise, I'll have to call the police. I stare at him, then at the receptionist, and I feel tears burning in my eyes. I'm so close to finding Mia, but they're blocking me. Jack's paid them off, or threatened them, or something. He's covering his tracks, and I'm running out of time. Fine, I say. Backing away, I'll leave, but I'm not giving up. If she's here, I'll find her, and when I do, everyone will know what you're hiding. I turn and walk out, my heels clicking loudly on the tile floor. Outside, the sun is setting, painting the sky pink and orange, but I don't even notice. I pull out my phone and call Sarah again. I need your help, I say, my voice breaking. Cedarbrook's lying. They say Mia's not there, but I know she is. Can you get me in? Please, I'll do anything. Sarah sighs. Lily, I can't just walk you into the VIP wing. They'll fire me. But I know a nurse who works there, Maria. She owes me a favor. I'll text her, see if she can check. Maybe Mia's under a fake name. Jack probably wouldn't use her real one. Hope flickers in my chest. Thank you so much. Just tell her to be careful. Jack's dangerous. I can feel it. I hang up and lean against my car, staring up at Cedarbrook's tall, imposing building. The lights are coming on, one by one. And I wonder which window is Mia's. Is she okay? Is she awake? Can she hear me? If I yell, I want to scream her name, to bang on the doors, to do anything to let her know I'm here, but I can't. Not yet. Instead, I pull out my laptop from the backseat and sit on the hood of my car, typing furiously. If I can't get into the hospital, I'll find another way. I start searching Jack's name, his company, his finances, anything that might give me a clue. Sarah said he asked about private wings. No records. Why? What's he hiding? As I scroll through articles about Harlow Industries, about Jack's recent business deals, I notice something. A huge transfer of money, $10 million, to an offshore account in the Cayman Islands. The transfer was made 3 days ago, right around the time Mia disappeared. And the recipient, a company I've never heard of, Blackthorn Holdings. I type Blackthorn Holdings into Google, and my blood runs cold. It's a shell company, linked to a bunch of illegal stuff, money laundering, fraud, even human trafficking, according to some sketchy forums. Jack's dealing with these people, and Mia found out. That's why he's keeping her alive. For the deal, for the money. I close my laptop, my hands shaking. Mia's in danger, not just sick, trapped. And Jack's not just her husband. He's her captor. I need to get her out of there, and fast. But how? I'm just one person, with no money, no power. And a car that's one breakdown away from being totaled. But then I think of Mia, my best friend, the one who was there for me when my mom died, who helped me move into my first apartment, who laughed with me until we cried and cried with me until we laughed. I can't let her down, not now. I pull out my phone again and dial 911. But as the phone rings, I hesitate. What am I going to say? That my friend is missing, and I think her husband has her in a private hospital. And he's dealing with a sketchy company. They'll think I'm crazy. They'll hang up. I hit end call, my heart racing. I need proof, solid proof. Proof that Jack is lying. Proof that Mia is in danger. Proof that Cedarbrook is hiding her. Only then will the police listen. I look up at the hospital again. Determination flooding me. I'm not going anywhere. I'll camp out here if I have to. I'll wait for Sarah's nurse friend to call. I'll find a way in. Because Mia's counting on me. And I'm not going to let her down. The drugs are still thick in my system. My tongue feels like it's stuck to the roof of my mouth, and my fingers twitch every few seconds like they're trying to fight through a layer of cement. But my ears are sharp, sharper than they've been in days. Maybe it's the counteragent Dr. Carter gave me, or maybe it's the panic, the way fear sharpens every sense until even the hum of the air conditioner sounds like a scream. Either way, I hear every word when Jack bursts into the room, his phone pressed to his ear, his voice tight with anger. Are you out of your mind? He snarls, pacing back and forth so fast the hem of his suit jacket brushes the edge of the bed. I freeze, forcing my eyes to stay shut, my breathing slow. Clara's not here. She left 10 minutes ago to get coffee, though I saw her slip a flask out of her bag when she thought I wasn't looking. It's just me and Jack, and his voice, cold and furious, cutting through the quiet. I told you to keep it quiet. The deal closes in 48 hours, and if anyone finds out about her, it's over. We lose the money, we lose the connections, and Blackthorn doesn't just walk away, they destroy people. Blackthorn, the name hits me like a punch to the chest. Lily mentioned it, on the phone, maybe, or was it in a text? My memory's fuzzy, the drugs making it hard to hold on to thoughts, but I know that name. Bad, dangerous. Jack's dealing with them, and I'm the collateral. I don't care if she's stable, I care if she's alive long enough to sign the papers. He snaps. And I feel my blood run cold. Sign the papers. What papers? Our house. His company. Something worse. I try to think. To remember if he'd asked me to sign anything lately. Something he said was routine. Something he slipped to me while I was cooking or watching TV, but my mind's a fog, and all I can focus on is the way his voice sounds, like he's talking about a car, not his wife. She's not going anywhere, he says, quieter now, but no less cold. Carter's got her on that shit that keeps her docile. Too weak to move, too confused to talk, and Clara's watching him like a hawk, if he so much as blinks wrong. We take his kid, he won't risk it. My stomach drops. His threatening Dr. Carter's kid, a child. I thought Jack was bad, selfish, greedy, cruel. But this is something else. This is monster territory. The man I married, the one who used to hold me when I had nightmares, who cried at our wedding, would never hurt a kid. Would never use a kid as leverage. But this Jack, he'd do it in a heartbeat. I'll be there tomorrow, he says, ending the call. He stands by the window for a minute, staring out at the dark sky, and I hold my breath, afraid he'll turn around, afraid he'll see the way my chest is heaving, the way tears are slipping out from under my eyelids. After a minute, he turns, and I feel his eyes on me. I keep my face slack, my breathing even, but I can feel him staring, like he's trying to see through my skin, to see if I'm listening, if I'm remembering. Just a little longer, Mia, he says, his voice soft now, that fake gentle tone he uses when he wants something. He reaches out, and I flinch inwardly when his hand touches my cheek. Cold, clammy, nothing like the warm hands that used to cup my face when we kissed. Just 48 hours, then it's over. You'll be better, we'll be happy, happy. The word is a joke, a sick, twisted joke. He thinks I'll just forget, that I'll wake up, sign his papers, and go back to being his perfect little wife, the one who doesn't ask questions, the one who ignores the late nights and the secret calls. And the way he looks at me like I'm a problem to be solved. He leans in closer, and I smell the whiskey on his breath, mixed with the cologne he wears when he's meeting business associates. Don't make this harder than it has to be, he whispers, his lips almost touching my ear. If you fight it, if you try to tell anyone, well, you know what happens to people who get in Blackthorn's way, and I'd hate for Lily to find out the hard way. Lily, his threatening Lily, my best friend, the one who's probably out there right now, looking for me, worrying about me. Rage bubbles up inside me, hot, fierce, strong enough to cut through the fog of drugs. I want to scream at him, to scratch his face, to tell him that Lily will find him, that she'll take him down, that he'll never get away with this. But I can't, my body won't let me. I'm trapped, a prisoner in my own skin. And all I can do is lie there and listen to him threaten the people I love. He pulls away, straightening his tie like he didn't just threaten to hurt my best friend. Clara'll be back soon. Try to sleep. He leaves, the door clicking shut behind him, and I let out a shaky breath, the tears now pouring down my face. I'm not just a pawn in his deal with Blackthorn. I'm a liability. As soon as I sign those papers, as soon as the deal closes, he'll get rid of me. Probably make it look like an accident, complications from the virus, heart failure, something no one will question. But he doesn't know Lily. He doesn't know how stubborn she is, how loyal she is. She'll find me, she'll figure out what's going on, and when she does, Jack's going to regret ever messing with us. I try to move my fingers again, just a tiny twitch, a sign that I'm still here, still fighting. This time, I feel it, a small, weak movement, but it's there. I do it again, and again. Until my fingers are sore, until I can feel the blood flowing through them, slow but steady. Dr. Carter was right. We need time. Time for Lily to find me. Time for Dr. Carter to figure out a way to get me out of here. Time for me to get strong enough to fight back. But time is running out. 48 hours. That's all I have. 48 hours until Jack's deal closes. Until I'm no longer useful. Until he tries to kill me for real. I close my eyes, focusing on my breathing. On the sound of the monitor beeping. Slow, steady. A reminder that I'm still alive. I need to stay awake. I need to listen. I need to remember everything. Every word Jack says, every detail of this room, every time Dr. Carter slips me the counteragent, because when Lily finds me, when we get out of here, I'm going to make sure Jack pays for what he's done, for lying to me, for hurting me, for threatening the people I love. The door creaks open, and I hear Clara's footsteps. I quickly wipe the tears from my face with my shoulder, slow, careful, so she doesn't notice, and close my eyes tighter, pretending to be asleep. She stands by the bed for a minute, and I can feel her staring, just like Jack did. Sleep well, Mia, she says, her voice cold. You'll need it. I don't sleep, not for a second. I lie there, wide awake, my mind racing, trying to piece together the fragments. Blackthorn, the papers, the 48 hours, Lily, trying to hold on to hope. Even when it feels like the walls are closing in, even when it feels like I'm never going to get out of here alive, but I will, I have to, for Lily, for Dr. Carter, for the person I used to be, the person who believed in love and happily ever after, for the person I'm going to be, stronger, smarter, and free. I just need to make it through 48 hours. That's all, just 48 hours. The clock on the wall ticks so loud it might as well be a bomb counting down, each second a thud against my skull. A reminder that the 48 hours Jack mentioned are slipping away faster than I can hold on to. Clara's been glued to the chair in the corner for hours, scrolling through her phone like she's just killing time, but her eyes flick up every 2 minutes, sharp and alert, like she's waiting for me to make a mistake, waiting for Dr. Carter to make a mistake. My fingers are still sore from the twitching I did last night, but I try again, just a tiny flex, hidden under the blanket. Progress, small. But progress, the counteragent's working, I think. My head feels clearer, less like it's filled with cotton, and I can swallow now without my throat burning, but I don't let it show. I keep my eyes closed, my breathing slow, like the drugs still have me in their grip. Clara can't know, Jack can't know. The door creaks open, and Dr. Carter walks in, carrying his tray of supplies. His face is neutral, but his eyes, they're different, wide, a little wild. Like he's got something to say and no time to say it. Clara looks up from her phone, her fingers pausing on the screen. Time for her check, she asks, her voice flat. Yep, Dr. Carter says, setting the tray down on the side table. He grabs a blood pressure cuff, his hands steady. But I notice the way he fumbles with the valve for half a second. Nervous, need to take her vitals, check the routine stuff. Clara stands up, leaning against the wall so she can see everything. Take your time. Mr. Harlow called. He wants a full update when you're done. Dr. Carter nods, wrapping the cuff around my arm. The machine beeps as it inflates, and he stares at it, like it's the most interesting thing in the world. Blood pressure's 95/65, he says, his voice loud enough for Clara to hear. Better than yesterday, heart rate 60, stable. Clara hums, sitting back down. Good, Mr. Harlow will be happy to hear that. Dr. Carter sets the cuff aside, then reaches for the bag. He adjusts the drip rate, his fingers brushing mine for a split second. Warm, urgent, I freeze, my breath catching. He's trying to tell me something. He grabs a gauze pad, dabbing at the foresight, and that's when I feel it, a tiny, folded piece of paper, slipped between his fingers and mine, pressed into the palm of my hand. My heart slams against my ribs. I curl my fingers around the paper, hiding it under the blanket, my palm sweating so much I'm afraid it'll disintegrate. Dr. Carter steps back, disposing of the gauze in the trash, his face still neutral. All done, he says, picking up his tray. I'll be back in an hour for her next dose. Clara nods, not looking up from her phone. Hurry, Mr. Harlow might stop by early. Dr. Carter leaves, and I lie there, my hand still curled around the paper. My mind racing. I need to read it, now, but Clara's right there, her eyes on me every few minutes. I wait, counting the seconds, until she gets up to use the bathroom. Finally, a break. As soon as the bathroom door clicks shut, I yank my hand out from under the blanket, unfolding the paper as fast as I can. It's a scrap of notebook paper, the writing tiny, scrawled in Dr. Carter's messy handwriting. Lily's looking for you. She talked to Sarah, nurse friend, knows you're at Cedarbrook. She's working with police. Need 24 hours. Keep fighting. I'll keep giving counteragent. Don't trust Clara. She's in on it with Jack. Stay awake. Stay strong. Lily's here. She found me. The police are involved. Hope, bright, hot, overwhelming, floods me, and I have to bite my lip to keep from crying out. She did it. She didn't give up. She's coming for me. I fold the paper back up, tucking it under my pillow. Safe, hidden. I smooth my hand over the blanket, my heart still racing, and close my eyes just as the bathroom door opens. Clara walks back in, eyeing me suspiciously. Everything okay? She asks, sitting down. I don't answer, just keep my eyes closed, my breathing slow. She doesn't push it, just goes back to her phone, but I can feel her staring, like she knows something's different, like she can sense the hope in me, the way my chest feels lighter, like I'm not just waiting to die anymore. I think about the paper, about Lily and the police, about Dr. Carter risking everything to help me. We have a plan, Not a great one, not a perfect one, but a plan. 24 hours, that's all we need. 24 hours until the police show up, until I'm free. Until Jack and Clara get what's coming to them. But 24 hours is still a long time, especially with Clara watching every move, with Jack threatening to hurt the people I love, with the drugs still in my system, making me weak. I need to stay strong. I need to stay awake. I need to be ready. I try to move my arm, just a little, from the elbow down. It's slow, painful, like my muscles are rusted shut, but I do it. I lift my hand up, hovering over the blanket, then set it back down. Progress. More progress. The counteragent's working better than Dr. Carter thought. I think, maybe by tomorrow, I'll be able to sit up. Maybe I'll be able to talk. Maybe I'll be able to fight back if I need to. Clara looks up from her phone, frowning. What are you doing? I freeze, my hand still halfway up. I close my eyes, pretending to be confused, like the drugs are making me move in my sleep. I let my hand fall back down, limp, and make a soft, sleepy noise. Clara stares at me for a minute, then goes back to her phone. Close call, too close. I can't let her see me getting stronger. I can't let her know I'm awake, that I know what's going on. I need to keep playing the part, weak, confused, docile, until Lily and the police get here. The clock ticks on, each second bringing me closer to freedom, closer to Jack's downfall. I think about Lily, her stubbornness, her loyalty, the way she always has my back. I think about Dr. Carter, his courage, his kindness, the way he's risking his family to help me. I think about Jack, his greed, his cruelty, the way he threw away our love for money and power. And I think about myself, the woman I was, naive, trusting, in love with a man who didn't deserve it, the woman I'm becoming, stronger, smarter, ready to take back my life. 24 hours. That's all I have, that's all we have, and I'm not going to waste a single second. I'm going to fight, I'm going to survive. And I'm going to make sure Jack and Clara regret ever messing with me. I close my eyes, focusing on my breathing, on the sound of the monitor beeping. Steady, strong, a reminder that I'm still alive, still here, still fighting. 24 hours. Let's do this. The monitor's beep is the only sound in the room for a while. Slow, steady, a lie we're all pretending to believe. I'm still holding the folded paper under my pillow, my fingers brushing against it every few minutes like it's a lucky charm. Lily's coming. The police are coming. 24 hours. I repeat the words in my head like a mantra, trying to ignore the way my stomach twists every time Clara glances up from her phone. Then the door slams open, hard, so hard it bounces off the wall, and I flinch, my eyes flying open before I can stop them. Jack's standing in the doorway, his face red, his tie askew, and I've never seen him this angry. Not even when I accidentally crashed his prized vintage car into the garage door. His eyes lock onto the monitor, and his jaw tightens so hard I can see the muscles flexing. 62 beats per minute. He snarls, striding across the room and slamming his fist down on the side table. The water glass shatters, sending shards flying, and Clara jumps to her feet, her hand going to her earpiece like she's about to call for backup. I told you 55. Max, what the hell is wrong with you? Carter. Dr. Carter is right behind him, his face pale, his hands shaking slightly. Mr. Harlow, you what? Jack cuts him off, getting in Dr. Carter's face. So close their noses are almost touching. You decided to go easy on her. You forgot what happens if you don't do exactly what I say. Let me remind you, your daughter's still in that private school, right? The one with the horse stables and the piano lessons. How do you think she'll feel when she has to go back to public school, when she finds out her dad's a fraud, a criminal who embezzled hospital funds? How do you think your wife will feel when you can't pay the mortgage, when you can't afford her cancer meds? My blood runs cold. He's not just threatening Dr. Carter, he's threatening his family, his sick wife, his kid. I grip the paper under my pillow so tight my knuckles turn white. And I want to scream, to tell Jack to leave them alone, but my throat's still too tight, my voice still trapped inside me. Dr. Carter's hands curl into fists at his sides, but his voice stays steady, quiet. I'm doing everything I can, Mr. Harlow. The medication's unpredictable, her body's fighting it. If I lower her heart rate anymore, she'll go into cardiac arrest, she'll die before the deal closes. Then find something else, Jack yells, spit flying from his mouth. You're a doctor, aren't you? Figure it out. I didn't pay you all this money to make excuses. I paid you to keep her alive long enough to sign those papers. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. He grabs Dr. Carter by the collar, yanking him forward. You have 2 hours. 2 hours to get her heart rate down to 55. If you don't, I'll call the hospital board. I'll call the cops. I'll make sure you never work in medicine again. And then I'll pay your little girl a visit. I'll tell her exactly why her dad's a loser who can't keep his family safe. Dr. Carter's face goes even paler, and I can see the fear in his eyes. Not for himself, but for his kid. That's the worst part. Jack knows exactly how to hurt people. He knows their weaknesses, their fears, and he twists them like a knife. Clara steps forward, placing a hand on Jack's arm. Jack, calm down. You're making a scene. The nurses might hear. Jack shoves Dr. Carter away, and Dr. Carter stumbles back. Tripping over the edge of the rug, he catches himself, but his hands are still shaking. 2 hours, Carter, Jack says, his voice cold now, quieter, but even more terrifying. Don't make me regret trusting you. Dr. Carter nods, his head down, and Jack turns to look at me. His eyes are dark, empty, like he doesn't even recognize me, like I'm just a thing, a tool to get what he wants. And you, he says, leaning over the bed, stop fighting it. It'll be easier for everyone if you just comply. He reaches out, and I flinch, but he just brushes a strand of hair off my forehead, his touch cold and rough. Just a little longer, Mia, then it'll all be over. He turns and walks out, Clara following close behind, and the door clicks shut behind them. Dr. Carter stands there for a minute, his back to me, and I can see his shoulders shaking, his crying, quietly, so I won't hear, but I can see it. I blink twice, slow, deliberate, a signal. I'm here, I'm sorry. He turns around. And when he sees me looking at him, he wipes his eyes with the back of his hand, clearing his throat. I'm fine, he says, but his voice cracks. I can't lose them. My wife, my kid, they're all I have. I blink again. This time, a question. What are we gonna do? He walks over to the bed, leaning in close. His voice low. I can't lower your heart rate anymore, not without killing you, but I can't let him hurt my family, either, so, I'll give you a smaller dose of the counteragent. Just enough to keep you alive, but enough to make the monitor show 55. It'll be risky, your body'll be under more stress, but it's the only way. I nod as best I can, and he sighs, running a hand through his grey hair. I'm sorry, Mia, I'm so sorry you're going through this. You didn't deserve any of it. He grabs his tray from the side table, and I can see the syringe with the counteragent in his hand. Smaller than usual, just a tiny amount. He fills it, then looks up at the door. Making sure no one's watching, he leans over me, injecting the counteragent into my foreline, and I feel it, cool, slow, spreading through my veins. Try to rest, he says, pulling the needle out. I'll be back in 2 hours to check on you. And Mia, don't lose hope. Lily's coming. The police are coming. We just need to hold on a little longer. He leaves, and I lie there, my chest tight, my heart racing. The counteragent's working, but it's not enough. I can feel my body getting weaker. My vision starting to blur. 55 beats per minute. That's too low, too dangerous. If Dr. Carter doesn't give me more counteragent soon, I might not make it to the 24 hours. I might not make it to Lily. I grip the paper under my pillow, the words Dr. Carter wrote still fresh in my mind. Stay awake. Stay strong. I close my eyes, focusing on my breathing, on the sound of the monitor beeping. Slower now, 58, 57, 56, getting closer to 55, getting closer to danger. 2 hours, that's how long we have. 2 hours until Jack comes back, until he checks the monitor, until we find out if Dr. Carter's plan works. 2 hours until either we survive, or everything falls apart. I try to move my legs, just a tiny twitch, like I did with my fingers. Nothing, they're still too heavy, too weak. I try to talk, to make a sound, but all that comes out is a soft, hoarse whisper. Not enough, Not yet, but I'm not giving up, not now, not when Lily's on her way, not when Dr. Carter's risking everything to help me. I'll stay awake, I'll stay strong, I'll fight, even if it kills me. The monitor beeps again. 55, there it is, Jack's number. I feel my eyes start to close, my body starting to shut down, but I force them open. I can't sleep, I can't let go. 2 hours, just 2 hours, I can do this, I have to. My laptop's fan is whirring so loud it sounds like a jet engine, and my eyes are burning from staring at the screen for hours. I'm camped out in the back of a coffee shop downtown, Mia's favorite one. The one with the chipped mugs and the jazz music. To avoid Jack's goons, if he's sent any, Sarah's nurse friend, Maria, texted me an hour ago. Mia's alive, 4 in her arm, looks weak but awake. Jack's there every few hours. Yelling at the doctor, Clara's glued to the room. It's the first real confirmation I've had that Mia's okay, and I want to scream with relief. But I can't, not yet, not until I have proof that Jack's holding her hostage, proof that he's mixed up with Blackthorn Holdings, proof that the cops can't ignore. I scroll through the financial records I managed to hack into, thanks to my cousin, who's a tech whiz and owes me a huge favor, for Harlow Industries, Jack's company. The first few pages are boring, standard stuff, payroll, rent, office supplies, but then I hit a section labeled confidential transactions, and my heart stops. There, dated 3 days ago, the same day Mia disappeared, is a transfer of $10 million to an account in the Cayman Islands, the recipient, Blackthorn Holdings. I lean forward, my elbows on the table, and zoom in on the details. The memo line says asset acquisition, but that's a load of crap. Blackthorn doesn't acquire assets, they acquire people, or silence, or both, and Mia, she's the asset here, the one Jack needs to keep alive long enough to sign whatever papers Blackthorn's demanding, maybe a prenuptial agreement, or a transfer of her inheritance. Mia's grandma left her a ton of money when she died. Enough to make anyone greedy, enough to make Jack kill for it. I keep scrolling, and there's more, transfers of smaller amounts, 50,000 here, 100,000 there, to Cedarbrook Hospital's VIP wing fund, dated the same day Mia was admitted. Jack paid them off, paid them to keep her quiet, to keep her hidden, to lie to anyone who asks about her, including me. My hands are shaking so bad I can barely type. I screenshot every transaction, every memo, every piece of evidence, and send them to my cousin. Can you trace the Blackthorn account? Find out who's behind it? I text him. He replies a minute later, working on it. They're covering their tracks, but I can get a name. Give me an hour, I can wait an hour, but Mia doesn't have hours, she has days, maybe less. Maria said she looked weak, too weak. Jack's probably pumping her full of drugs to keep her docile, to keep her from fighting back. I need to get this evidence to the cops now, but will they believe me? A woman with a laptop full of hacked financial records, claiming her best friend's husband is holding her hostage in a private hospital. They'll think I'm crazy, they'll ask for warrants, for subpoenas, for more proof, and by the time they get it, it'll be too late. I'll be dead, and Jack'll be on a plane to the Cayman Islands, sipping cocktails with the Blackthorn guys. I grab my phone and call Detective Rodriguez. I met her last year when my apartment was broken into. She was the one who found the guy who stole my laptop. She's tough, no nonsense, and she owes me a favor. I told her about my neighbor's abusive boyfriend. And she got him arrested before he could hurt her. Maybe she'll listen. She picks up on the third ring. Torres, what's up, detective? I need your help. My best friend, Mia Harlow, she's missing. Her husband, Jack, says she's sick, but he's lying. She's at Cedarbrook Hospital's VIP wing. And he's holding her hostage. He's mixed up with a company called Blackthorn Holdings. They're dangerous, involved in illegal stuff. I have proof, financial records, transfers, everything. Please. You have to help me. There's a pause on the other end. Lily, slow down. I need to get this straight. You think Jack Harlow is holding his wife hostage? Why? Money, I say, my voice cracking. Mia has a lot of money from her grandma. Jack's company is failing. He's been embezzling funds, I think. He needs Mia to sign papers, to give him the money, or Blackthorn will kill him, or worse. He's pumping her full of drugs to keep her quiet. She's weak, detective, she might not make it. Another pause. Do you have any proof that she's being held against her will? Witnesses, a confession? I have Maria. She's a nurse at Cedarbrook. She saw Mia. She said Jack's yelling at the doctor. That Clara, his assistant, is glued to the room. I have financial records showing he paid Cedarbrook off. That he sent $10 million to Blackthorn. My cousin's tracing the account now. He'll have a name soon. Please, just send someone to check on her. That's all I ask. If she's fine, I'll drop it. But if she's not, you have to help her. Detective Rodriguez sighs. I can't just send officers to a private hospital without probable cause. Lily, that's not how this works. But I can make a call, talk to the hospital administrator, ask about Mia Harlow, off the record. If there's something fishy, I'll know. And if there is, I'll get a warrant. I'll be in touch in 30 minutes. Don't do anything stupid. Don't go to the hospital. Jack sounds dangerous. You don't want to get hurt. Thank you. I say, tears streaming down my face. Thank you so much. I hang up and slump back in my chair, taking a deep breath. 30 minutes. That's all I have to wait. 30 minutes until I find out if the cops are going to help Mia, or if I have to take matters into my own hands. I look around the coffee shop. At the people laughing, at the barista making lattes, at the couple holding hands in the corner. They have no idea what's going on. No idea that my best friend is trapped in a hospital bed, fighting for her life, while her husband plans her murder. No idea that there's a dangerous company called Blackthorn Holdings pulling the strings. It feels like I'm in a movie, like none of this is real. But it is real. Mia is real. Jack is real. The danger is real. My phone buzzes. It's my cousin. Got a name. The Blackthorn account is linked to a guy named Victor Voss. He's got a rap sheet a mile long. Fraud, extortion, even a suspected murder in Chicago. He's in Portland right now, staying at the Ritz-Carlton. Victor Voss. The name sends a chill down my spine. I Google him, and his mugshot pops up. Tall, broad, with a scar across his left cheek. He looks like the kind of guy who doesn't take no for an answer, the kind of guy who'd kill Mia without a second thought once she's no longer useful. I text the name to Detective Rodriguez. Blackthorn's guy is Victor Voss, in Portland, staying at the Ritz, suspected murder. Please, Mia's in danger. She replies a minute later. I know. I just got off the phone with Cedarbrook. The administrator said there's no patient named Mia Harlow. But when I pressed her, she slipped up, said the VIP patient in room 307 is under strict orders not to have visitors. I'm getting a warrant now. I'll be at Cedarbrook in 20 minutes. Stay where you are. I'll call you when we have her. Relief floods me. So strong I almost cry. They're coming. The cops are coming. Mia's going to be okay. I grab my laptop and my purse, throwing some cash on the table for my coffee, and run out of the coffee shop. I need to be there. I need to see Mia, to make sure she's alive, to hold her hand and tell her everything's going to be okay. I jump in my car and peel out of the parking lot, heading for Cedarbrook. The traffic is terrible, and I'm honking at every car that gets in my way, my heart racing. 20 minutes. That's how long it'll take the cops to get there. 20 minutes until Mia is free. 20 minutes until Jack gets what's coming to him. But as I drive, a thought hits me. What if Jack finds out? What if Clara calls him, tells him the cops are on their way? What if he panics and tries to kill Mia before they get there? I floor it, my car speeding down the highway. I have to get there first. I have to stop him. I have to save Mia, because she's my best friend, and I'm not going to let her die. Not today, not ever. My eyelids feel like they're lined with lead. Every time I blink, it takes every ounce of strength to open them again. The room's spinning, slow and sickening, like I'm on a merry-go-round that won't stop. The counteragent Dr. Carter gave me is wearing off. I can tell. My chest hurts so bad I can barely breathe, and my fingers are numb, like they've been dipped in ice water. The monitor beeps at 55, steady and cruel, a reminder that Jack's winning. For now, Clara's still in the corner, scrolling through her phone, but her eyes flick to me every few seconds. She knows something's up. She must. Maybe she heard Dr. Carter's whisper, or saw the way I gripped the pillow where the note's hidden. I keep my face slack, my breathing slow, but inside, I'm screaming, Lily's coming, the cops are coming, I just need to hold on. I close my eyes, and for a second, I'm back in my grandma's kitchen. She's standing at the stove, stirring a pot of tomato soup, my favorite, and the air smells like basil and garlic. Mia, honey, she says, turning to me with a smile. When life knocks you down, you don't stay there, you get up, you fight, because you're stronger than you think. I reach for her, but she fades away, and I'm back in the hospital bed. The smell of antiseptic burning my nose. Grandma's right, I am stronger, I've survived worse. High school bullies, a broken leg that kept me off the soccer team for a year. The day I found out she had Alzheimer's. I can survive this, I just need to stay awake, stay aware. I try to focus on the sounds around me. The hum of the air conditioner, the distant beep of another monitor down the hall, Clara's fingers tapping on her phone. Each sound is her anchor, pulling me back from the darkness that's creeping in at the edges of my vision. The drugs want me to sleep, to give up, but I won't, not when Lily's on her way, not when Dr. Carter's risking everything for me. My throat feels like it's filled with sand, but I try to swallow, to make a sound. Anything to prove I'm still here. A hoarse whisper escapes, so quiet I can barely hear it, but Clara's head snaps up. What was that? She asks, standing up and walking over to the bed. I freeze. My heart slamming against my ribs. I close my eyes tighter, pretending to be asleep, but she leans over me, her breath hot on my face. I heard you, Mia, you're awake, admit it. I don't move, don't breathe. If I admit it, she'll call Jack, he'll come back, angry, and who knows what he'll do. Maybe he'll give me a higher dose of the drug, one that'll kill me before the cops get here. Maybe he'll hurt Dr. Carter's family. I can't let that happen. Clara grabs my wrist, her grip tight enough to hurt, and checks my pulse. Your heart's racing, she says, her voice cold. You're not asleep, you're listening, you know what's going on. She leans in closer, so close I can see the flecks of green in her eyes. You think Lily's going to save you, she won't. Jack's got people watching her. As soon as she steps foot near this hospital, she's done, and so are you. Fear spikes in my chest, but I push it down. Lily's smart, she wouldn't walk into a trap. She'd bring the cops, she'd be careful. Clara's lying, she has to be. Clara lets go of my wrist, stepping back. Fine, be that way, but when Jack finds out, when he realizes you've been faking it this whole time, he won't be as nice as I am. She sits back down in the corner, but her eyes don't leave me. I take a shaky breath, my chest aching. The darkness is getting closer, and my head feels like it's going to split open. I need Dr. Carter, I need another dose of the counteragent. But he won't be back for another hour, an hour. That's forever when you're fighting to stay alive. I think about Lily, her laugh, the way she always brings me ice cream when I'm sad, the time she stayed up all night with me after my grandma died. She's my best friend, my sister, she won't let me down. I picture her in her car, speeding to the hospital, her hands white on the wheel, her eyes set. She's coming, I just need to wait. My vision blurs, and I see spots, black and white, swirling around like snowflakes. The monitor beeps slower, 54, 53, too low. I can feel my heart slowing down, like it's getting tired, like it wants to stop, but I fight it. I think of Grandma's soup, of Lily's smile, of the day I married Jack, before he changed, before he became this monster. I think of all the things I haven't done yet, travel to Italy, have kids, watch my niece grow up. I have so much to live for. I try to move my arm again, just a little. It's slow, painful. But I lift it a few inches off the bed. Clara gasps, and I drop it back down. But I feel a spark of hope. I can move, not much, but enough. Maybe by the time Lily gets here, I'll be able to sit up. Maybe I'll be able to talk. Maybe I'll be able to help. The door creaks open, and I hold my breath. Is it Dr. Carter, Jack, Lily? No, it's a nurse, carrying a tray with a glass of water and a pill cup. Time for your meds, she says, her voice quiet, avoiding my eyes. She's scared, I don't blame her. Clara stands up, make sure she takes them, all of them. The nurse nods, leaning over me and lifting my head gently. She puts the pill cup to my lips, and I taste something bitter. Another drug, probably to keep me sedated. I swallow it, holding back a cough, and she gives me a sip of water. "There you go," she says. Setting the tray down, she lingers for a second, her eyes softening, and she whispers, "Hang in there." Then she's gone. Clara sits back down, and I close my eyes. The new drug hits fast, making my head feel heavy, but I fight it. I grip the note under my pillow, the paper crumpled in my hand, and I repeat Lily's name in my head like a prayer. Lily, Lily, Lily. The darkness is getting closer, but I can hear it, the distant sound of sirens, faint, but getting louder. My heart leaps. The cops. They're here. Lily's here. Clara stands up, frowning. "What's that?" she says, walking to the window and looking out. Her face pales, and she grabs her phone. Dialing Jack's number. "Jack, they're here, the cops, they're at the front door." What do? I smile, a small, weak smile, and I let my eyes close. "They're here, I did it, I held on, now it's time for Jack to pay." The sirens get louder, closer, and Clara's voice cracks as she talks into the phone. "No, Jack, I don't know how they found us. The nurse said she didn't tell anyone." She pauses, listening, and her face turns even paler. "You want me to what?" "But she's barely alive as it is. If I give her that dose, she'll..." Another pause, shorter this time. Fine, I'll do it, but if the cops catch me..." She hangs up, her hands shaking so bad she drops her phone on the floor. My blood runs cold. He wants her to kill me, right now, before the cops get here. I try to move, to scream, to do anything, but the new drug is weighing me down, my body like a sack of bricks. I can only lie there, my eyes wide, watching as Clara bends down to pick up her phone, then walks over to the side table where Dr. Carter keeps his supplies. She rummages through the tray, her hands fumbling, until she finds a vial of clear liquid, Jack's drug, the one that's been slowly killing me, and a syringe. She fills it up, the liquid glinting in the harsh hospital light, and turns to look at me. Her eyes are wild, like a cornered animal. "I don't want to do this," she says, her voice shaking. "But Jack, he'll hurt my sister. She's in college, in New York. He said he'll have someone break her legs if I don't comply. I can't let that happen. I'm sorry, Mia, I'm so sorry, sorry." Sorry doesn't bring back the life I had. Sorry doesn't stop the syringe in her hand from being lethal. I try to shake my head, to beg her not to do it, but I can't. My neck won't move, my mouth won't open. I'm trapped, watching as she takes a step closer, the syringe held out in front of her. The sirens are so loud now they're practically shaking the windows. I can hear yelling in the hallway. Cops, probably, telling people to get out of the way. They're almost here, just a little longer. I just need to hold on a little longer. Clara stops at the side of the bed, her hand trembling as she reaches for my 4-line. "It'll be quick," she says, her voice barely above a whisper. "You won't feel a thing." I close my eyes, but I can't stop the tears from slipping out. This is it. I fought so hard, held on for so long, and now it's over. Lily's here, the cops are here, but they're too late. I'm going to die. But then, crash, the door flies open, and Dr. Carter bursts in, his face red, his coat flapping behind him. "Don't you dare," he yells, lunging at Clara. He knocks the syringe out of her hand, and it clatters to the floor, the liquid spilling onto the tile. Clara screams, stepping back. "Get away from me. Jack'll kill my sister if I don't. The cops are here." "Clara," Dr. Carter yells, pointing at the door. "They're arresting Jack right now. He can't hurt anyone. Not your sister, not me, not Mia. It's over. It's all over." Clara freezes, her eyes wide. His under arrest," she says, her voice quiet. "Are you sure?" Dr. Carter nods, his breath coming fast. "I saw them. They took him in the parking lot. He was trying to run. It's over, Clara. You don't have to do what he says anymore." Clara stares at him for a minute, then collapses onto the chair, sobbing. "I'm so sorry," she says, over and over. "I didn't want to hurt anyone. I couldn't let him hurt my sister." Dr. Carter walks over to me, his hands gentle as he checks my pulse. "You're okay," he says, his voice soft. "You're going to be okay. The cops are here. Lily's here. They're on their way up." Lily, my best friend. I try to speak her name, and this time, a hoarse whisper comes out. "Lil, why?" Dr. Carter smiles, his eyes tearing up. She's here, she's been waiting for you. Just a minute, okay, she'll be right in. He turns to Clara, who's still sobbing. The cops will want to talk to you, but tell them the truth. Tell them Jack threatened you. They'll go easy on you. You didn't have a choice. Clara nods, wiping her tears with the back of her hand. I'll tell them everything. About the drugs, about the deal with Blackthorn, about Victor Voss. I'll tell them everything. The hallway outside erupts in noise. Footsteps, voices, the sound of doors opening and closing. Then, the door to my room swings open, and Lily runs in, her face red, her eyes puffy from crying. When she sees me, she stops, her hand covering her mouth. Mia, she says, her voice breaking. She runs to the bed, grabbing my hand, her fingers warm and tight around mine. Oh my God, Mia, I'm so sorry it took me so long. I'm so sorry I didn't find you sooner. I squeeze her hand as hard as I can, tears streaming down my face. Lil, why? I whisper again. You came, of course I came, she says, smiling through her tears. I told you I'd never leave you. I told you I'd find you. Did you think I'd break that promise? I shake my head. A small smile on my face. No, I never thought she'd break it. Not once. A cop walks in, followed by Detective Rodriguez. She nods at Dr. Carter, then looks at me. Mia Harlow. She says, her voice gentle, I'm Detective Rodriguez. We're going to get you out of here. Okay, get you the help you need. I nod, and Dr. Carter steps forward. She needs to be transferred to a different hospital. He says, her organs are still under stress from the drugs. She needs intensive care. Detective Rodriguez nods. We've got an ambulance waiting. They'll take you to Providence. Your cousin Sarah works there, right? She's already waiting for you. Sarah, my cousin, the nurse. I didn't even know she was involved, but it makes sense. Lily would have told her. She would have gotten everyone to help. The paramedics come in a few minutes later, rolling a stretcher next to the bed. They're gentle as they move me, checking my vitals, talking to me in soft voices. Lily stays right by my side, holding my hand, telling me everything's going to be okay. As they wheel me out of the room, I look back at Clara, who's talking to another cop, her head down. I don't hate her, I can't. She was a victim too, just like me, trapped by Jack's lies and threats. I hope she gets the help she needs. I hope she can start over. As we walk down the hallway, I see Jack being led by two cops, his hands cuffed behind his back. He looks at me, his eyes cold and angry, but I don't look away. I stare back at him. And for the first time in weeks, I don't feel scared. I feel free. He's not going to hurt me anymore. He's not going to hurt anyone anymore. It's over. The paramedics wheel me into the elevator, and Lily steps in with us, still holding my hand. We're going to get you better, she says, her voice firm. Then, we're going to go to Italy, just you and me. No Jack, no Blackthorn, no hospitals, just pasta and wine and sunshine. Deal, I smile. My eyes closing as the elevator starts to move. Deal, I whisper. It's over, I'm free, and with Lily by my side, I know I can get through anything. Alright, that's the end of today's story. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. We'll keep updating with more exciting stories, and we look forward to seeing you next time.